Hi, friends. It is Mary here. I am with Studio Nude Boudoir, and today I have a special guest for our Broken and Beloved project that we've been so dedicated to for the past 3 years. And a part of that is that we get to have sponsors that come along with the journey of these ladies that are going through this whole transformation. And you get to meet another one of our sponsors. In fact, she was one of our Centerfold sponsors, which means she's a big part of why these ladies get to do this at the cost that they do, as well as enjoy some of the events like our Door County trips and our monthly book clubs and all the snacks and refreshments and everything that comes with that. So she makes that possible and is part of that. And I have Miranda here. Miranda, welcome and thank you for coming on today. I'm going to start with just asking you to tell us a little bit about you personally. Where are you in your season of life right now? And then tell us a little bit more about how you are impacting your community. What are we doing that's you're passionate about? Tell us more about where you're going and all the things. I want to know everything.
Yes. Okay. I have a lot to say. So, where my season of life right now is, I turned 40 this past year, and I really feel like I'm in my prime, which I know is contradictory to what most of society tells us as women is like, oh, you're over the hill, and it's like I feel so on purpose and very intentional with everything that I do. I I have no problem saying no to things. I love saying yes to things, which I know we're going to get to in a minute because that's why I said yes to this. But it's just, I'm really desiring a greater impact. And so I'm a connector. I love to connect with everything, not just people. I connect with plants. I connect with Mother Nature. I connect with weather. I connect with everything. And I like right now, I feel like this season of life I'm in is that I resonate with every season there is. Like I can actually take a step back and be like, had I not gone through this, had I not weathered this storm, had I not had that much success in this area, I wouldn't be here. So it's been able to it's been such a great experience to actually take a step back and be like, damn, I did all of that. And I'm here and I feel better than ever. Right. So it's like, I feel like my toolbox is like, it's always growing, but I feel like I'm like, okay, I can use this and I can use this and I can use this. And my support system is greater than it ever has been. My kids, I am a mother of an almost 22-year-old who's about to graduate college and an almost 17-year-old who's getting scouted by many colleges to play soccer. So that's been it's a big part of my life. And I always like to talk about it because I think that I used to separate my business and from like my personal life. And it's really like my business wouldn't exist without my personal life. And my kids are a big part of that. So like that's been really fun. So like everybody's in this like really pivotal season of their life in like my little family. I have a really difficult time, honestly, explaining what I do for work because it doesn't feel like work. I am a Reiki master. I'm an intuitive life coach. I have multiple certifications. I have a degree in human development. However, I like to think of myself as a connector, like I said before. I just want to be in space with you and see what best serves you. So while I have Reiki sessions, right, it's different every time. It's different for every person. Ceremonies that I hold for women and men. I work with both women and men, mostly women right now, but events that I hold. For example, today I also work at Lodge Kohler. I on the whim put together a 30-minute meditation for a group of 16 to 18-year-old girl hockey players who are like in the middle of a tournament right now, right? So like I get to just step in, and I feel like that's what I do with everybody. I like to get to know them, but like, well, let's customize what you need. And a lot of it is intuitive. I have the most amazing relationship with the divine and my guides and my intuition. And it's really cool to be not ashamed that I'm that person that like the wind is telling me stories, or that like this experience really is aligned even if it doesn't feel like it. So it just feels really good. Where I'm at in life is only allowing me to impact more women and men because I have no shame in telling my story and the things that I've had success with, great success with, and the things that have been difficult and hard. And I think that that's really just opened the door for me to do more within the community. Actually, I do a lot of virtual sessions. So like I work with people all over the world. So like that is something that is like mind blowing to me, that like while oftentimes we fight with technology, it really allows us to actually act and have a greater impact. And that's something that I'm really, really honing in on right now as well, because I freaking love it. Like, look at this right now. We get to connect because of it.
I
So that's a
love that. Well, and then I'm going to tell the story about how we actually met. So we met on a retreat in Savannah with our mutual coach, and it was a wonderful experience. And you stood out to me when you wore that red fur jacket, and I was just like, "Oh, yes, she is my person." And I think it's your laugh also. I think you have a loud laugh like I do, and I'm like, "Oh, good. I love that you took up space because I would say you're like a petite woman to me, but you take up space, and I'm like, I love that.
I do.
You
Who are you? I'm like, I'm a lot, and I will take up the whole room. And
and I loved it, and we did like a little impromptu photo shoot in front of the red
oh,
light,
I
and we
was
had a
just
blast.
laughing, honey, and I was like, this. I was like, oh my god, Mary's telling me what to do. Okay, 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 okay. I, I was so happy in that moment because I was like, that's Mary. Like, you are the same way. You take up
Yeah,
space and you're just like you're so confident in like, who you
yeah.
are. And I was taken aback while I was like, this woman is powerful. So when you're like, give me your phone, let's do it.
Whatever you say, yes, mommy.
You're great.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's how we met. And then like I knew like I'm like, oh good, she's got witchy vibes, like, she's connected. And I was like, I want her involved in my life somehow, way, shape, or form. And so when we were scouting for sponsors, I know that like I was like, oh, I even said that I don't even know what you do, but I just want you to do whatever you do with us. We need your energy there. And we actually had Miranda come. So part of our sponsorships include a more intimate connection that like obviously we're doing this interview, letting people see who you are and passing the mic to you. You got an article in the magazine that we were able to put there for you, which was amazing. That was really cool. And you were there part of the premiere party to watch all of that too. But the really cool thing is we actually got to watch you work and work with the ladies and you and your partner, Hannah, correct? Yes. That you work with sometimes. They came to our kickoff party and they put together this like really beautiful connection ritual that we did with these ladies to start off. And I really feel like that's so transformed how quickly intimacy has moved in this group already. The ladies, the feedback from that has been incredible. They were just so thankful and they're like, when are we gonna work with her again? Is that something
Hi,
that
by the way. I like you.
yeah, it really like they really appreciated that and there was so much feedback from that because of the ladies just being like, "Oh my gosh, that was so cool." It was hard to receive the compliments and so it challenged them, but it also built them up and like really kicked them off. So thank you so much for providing that. And you're coming back to work with these ladies next month. We're going to do some more stuff with you. So you just can't get enough of Miranda. She's going to be here forever and ever. Like that's how it is.
Yeah.
But it was peaceful. Your voices and the way you just took authority. The way that you would grab these women's hands and you would speak. You do know what's going on, and they would just break down, not in a bad way, but break down in a way of like you were able to penetrate through some of these walls and this rigidness that these ladies have because they're scared. This is a big thing that
Yeah.
they're going through and a big step. And so it takes somebody who has authority in their own life to be able to hold the light for other people to have permission to do that too. And so it was an incredible thing to watch you do that, just
Thank
break them down.
It was so beautiful because, right? And that was just a really great example of like, we had a couple other things planned, but this was like what needed to happen. And I will never take for granted the way that I get really emotional talking about it, but the way that allow women to feel comfortable around me to open up and be vulnerable. I didn't have that. And so it's something that I've been building over the last 5 to 7 years since I moved to Green Bay. And so it will never ever not affect me like this to be able to hold a woman's hand or just be in space with a woman and have her feel comfortable enough to get that uncomfortable, because to be able, one, it's just like to be able to receive a compliment, but to be able to hold a woman's hand, I think just in my experience, I didn't have a lot of allies as women up in like middle school or even in high school, and I don't have one group of friends, right? I have like from different friend groups, and so I like to be in a community of women, in a circle of women, and to be able to hold enough space for these women to be able to not only share things with other women, what they see, right? But like women to be able to receive it and feel safe with me to do that. It was such a gift and such an honor. So thank you for even allowing us. And Hannah said the same thing. She's like, isn't it so crazy like that this is what we get to do? And I was like, it's amazing. It's an honor. It's a blessing. It's a gift. So thank
I love that. You're welcome. And thank you for sharing your gift with us. We appreciate that so much. Okay, what got you, like what was the thing that got you? I know that you had kind of at the premiere party, you had your moment. You were like, I knew that it was like be good, but like this was not what I was expecting.
you.
But tell us why you were like, yeah, hell yeah, I'd be a sponsor. I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna partner with you in this. Tell us what was that pivotal moment for you?
Yes. Well, I will say, like, it's really great because I was resistant at first because I was like, is this something I can do? And Mary,
Mhm.
you were so great because you were like, here's the thing. And I was like, oh my, the words that you spoke, I was like, I am her. Like, of course I can, like, this is what I can do, right? Because I'm still constantly working through my own stuff. And so it was like, that like was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, you also need this. Like, I get to show up for these women in like, only as like a sponsor, but like also need to like, it was so interesting. I felt like I had a breakthrough by saying yes to it, which to
Mhm.
me was like non-negotiable at that point. It was a, can I swear? It was like a fuck
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Big fuck yes, because I was like, I just had the biggest breakthrough of like own money and like leaves. That to me, I was just all of a sudden it was like, oh, and then I get to the premiere and like faces that I recognize, and then also seeing faces that I didn't recognize, and also seeing this just like kind of like women who just like personalities and just like different things for work and showing up for different reasons, and then like had a support group of women of my own friends come, and I was like, whoa. And then it was like when the women were lined up and we were cheering on the women, like that was the moment, like sharing some of their stories, but like really emotional. Like the mic, I'm getting emotional now, but like I cry a lot, by the way. I cry when I'm happy, sad, excited, whatever.
I
But
love
like
it.
the mic be passed and like these women and just them sharing part of their story, and then like whole line of women just like them on screaming for them, high-fiving them. The music was pumping, they were looking fly, like stunning, but their energy, you could just tell the difference that it made, like their heart, but like in their energy, right? They were just like they took up space, and it was so
Mhm.
beautiful to be in an environment where women took up space, but also like in other people, other women to take up space. That whole night was just like, I'm supposed to be here. And not only do I get to show up for these women in multiple different ways, but like, I need this. Like, I need to be in this environment. And not only is it, I'm such a reciprocated, like, to be, because it gives me no greater joy than to be in community with women. And I think sometimes I'm surprised by my impact, and I'm surprised by what I'm able to bring. I'm always inspired. Like I never show up anywhere and don't take a million things home with me. And so just a big yes, because it's gonna be a yearly thing and I'm obsessed with it. And then going to like the summit event where we did that, like it's so special what you're doing and like what I get to be part of. So the fact that you gave me I'm a projector, the fact that you gave me an invitation to be part of something, an actual invitation, I had to fully accept the invitation of saying yes to not just these women, but to myself, that I'm actually worthy of showing up for these women, was profound in my growth and my healing, not just personally, but in my business. So
I
amazing.
love that. I love that. Well, okay. I want to give because I'm going to give them every little thing about you, like what you have a website for that you just launched, which is so beautiful, by the way. Your website was live shortly after the premiere party, but so that's live, and so there's more information on you there on how people get in touch. I know you've got some stuff coming up. Just tell us ways that people can connect with you. Where can people find you? So that way they know how to get in connection with you to just learn more about Miranda and what it is that you do. Because you have several different little pockets, like you said, you've got your coaching, you've got the Reiki, you've got a space where you do some energy work. So and ceremonies that you guys are, I feel like you guys have a pretty consistent ceremony thing coming up on a regular basis. So people can kind of that you got like the moon ceremonies. I know Taryn went to one of those, like a lot of stuff that you guys are doing that people can kind of so tell us more about how people can find you and connect with you.
So my website, mirandawerkheiser.com. I'm really big on Instagram and Facebook. I love social media, so it literally is just my first and last name. I'm really big on both of those platforms, and you see a lot of my personality, and I do that on purpose. I don't keep a business Instagram. I want you to know who I am, get to know me, because that's how I want you to work with me, is because like I resonated with this video that you made or something, right? But DM me on my website, like contact page, like me. If you see something and you're like, it's not there, I'm really big on customizing. I'm really big on
Mm,
customizing, whether it's a ceremony, whether it's, I travel. So like you don't even live in the area and you're like, actually, I think that this would be something great that I want to talk to you about, like a contact form. I travel, I do virtual work, I do in-person work, I do one-on-one sessions. Are essentially like Instagram, Facebook, and my website are the three places, but a lot of virtual noon and full moon ceremonies. I do have a spring retreat coming up. The registration did just close on that. However, I have different coaching options. So online on the website, it says that there's a year-long coaching. I'm renovating that. So if you're like, I don't need a year, or I don't know if I need a year, or maybe whatever, again, send me an email, like that contact button, send me a DM. I'm really open to everything. However, allow about 48 hours to 72 hours for me to get back. My son takes up a lot of my time right now with soccer. So really it. There's just so much. Things are always evolving. There's always ceremonies to attend to in person. I customize ceremonies. I do family work. I do couples work. I do essentially everything. It's just a lot to put on my website. So if you're curious, ask. If you're
I
intrigued,
love it.
send me anything. We'll talk. I'm always down for a conversation.
Perfect. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Miranda, for being here. I appreciate your time and your energy as always. It's always just a fun space to be in whenever you're in it. You bring so much light and joy and positivity, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.